Alright, so let's talk about inclusion. Doesn't matter your skin color, your background, whether you're straight or gay or lesbian or trans. Doesn't matter how rich you are or how poor you are. None of that matters. Okay? So let's get that out of the way. Which brings me to my next point. Everyone is humans. We're all humans. Every single human has rights. Animals have rights. Every single living thing on this planet has rights. So can somebody please explain to me why we have to fight for human rights? Basic human rights. Why do we have to fight for the right to exist in the world? The amount of manpower and brain power and money that is being wasted trying to prove why someone else doesn't deserve something or why someone else doesn't belong. Like, we would be much more advanced in the world together if we just accepted that everybody's human and that's it. We are all linked by humanity. So whether you think you can identify with somebody or not, you can, because we are all humans. Which brings me to my next point. Denying people healthcare or jobs or access to literally anything that pertains to the body. Literally anything. For one, puts you on a power trip, which is more than likely stemming from trauma and not being heard, so you want to push that onto somebody else to make yourself feel better. Or you're egocentric and you think that you're special and that everybody should bow down to you because you're the greatest, when in fact you're just as significant as every single other person on this earth. People are so consumed with what everybody else is doing that nobody takes the time to look inward to realize that the person that they're othering absolutely could be you. Maybe not for the same reasons, but that doesn't mean that it can't, and it doesn't mean that it won't be you at some point. While I fully believe that we are connected and we are all one, I also believe that our differences is what makes us beautiful. We have so much that we could learn from each other if we all sat down and took the time to actually listen from somebody else's perspective, listening to understand and not listening for rebuttal. Some of you will refer to me as male, some of you will refer to me as female, and neither one of you are right, neither one of you are wrong. For I am. Period. At the end of the day, my being is human. My genitals should not dictate the way that you treat me. My genitals should not dictate the rights that I have. My genitals should not dictate the human decency that everyone deserves. And why you're so concerned with what I have in my pants or the way that I present myself, thinking that the way I present myself gives you the ultimate authority over what I can and cannot have, or what I do and do not deserve, makes you part of the problem. You fight for military rights, you fight for black rights, you fight for women's rights, and while I agree, all those different people deserve rights. But I agree because we are all human. We shouldn't be fighting for a singular community to have those rights, considering at a base level, we are all one community, mankind, which brings me to my next point. Can you imagine living in a world where everybody is exactly the same? Everybody's on the same routine, everybody has the same job, everybody does the exact same thing, day in and day out. Everybody experiences the exact same feelings, and then at the end of your life, everybody dies, never having been taught anything different or how to express themselves or be themselves, because originality and authenticity were frowned upon and stripped away from us. Saying that you support human rights, but only when it boils down to supporting human rights for people who look like you and act like you, in my opinion, makes you undeserving of the human rights that you fight for. Saying, I deserve these human rights, but that community over there does not deserve these human rights. It's wild. I don't understand how people can complain about oppression while simultaneously oppressing others. Like, feel bad for me, I had to fight for my rights, but also, you don't deserve rights because I don't agree with the way you live. Like, and even though at one point we are in the exact same position, fighting the exact same fight, the fight for rights to exist. The one basic human right that every single person is born into, animals too. Having to fight for human rights absolutely should not be a thing. It's time to break the cycles. We've seen what happens with slavery and concentration camps and war and trying to destroy anything that's not just like us. When do we choose love? I mean, all you hear about in history is war, but you never hear about when people decided enough was enough and it was time to stop repeating the same patterns. When does it stop? When the world ends? Or today? when there's still a chance for us, for our future generations? Why does it always take a war or a natural disaster for people to start loving each other? Why do things have to be at the absolute worst before people care about others? My heart bleeds for Earth. My heart bleeds for every single thing on this planet. My heart bleeds for you. To anybody who made it this far in the video, thank you for listening. Thank you for hearing me out. And I hope that this sparks something in you, sparks a change, sparks the future that the planet still exists in. I mean, that everybody's not dead and everything's like molten lava. I don't know. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good night. Thanks for listening, guys.